Whatever the occasion, effortless elegance is right this way. Because Hilton brings you new ways to stay courtesy of the Nomad London. And it doesn't stop at award-winning dining in a space draped in velvet and illuminated by vintage chandeliers. No, this day goes beyond with unparalleled personalized service and attentive hospitality. Oh, and did we mention the Nomad London can be booked using your Hilton Honors points at Hilton.com? Hilton, for the stay.
Welcome to the Positive Mindset Podcast. My name is Henry Lawrence, and in this episode, we're going to talk about to raise your frequency so you can move forward in the most positive, powerful light that you could ever imagine. And make sure to stay tuned to the very end because we're going to do a deep, healing, meditative breath to help us align on this message and move forward throughout the day. So what do? You're tuned in right now. This is the Positive Mindset Podcast. If you're new, you're looking for something to shift you out of negative energy. You're looking for something to shift you out of the hurt, the pain, the loss, the trauma. If you've been listening for a while, you're trying to build your mindset. You're trying to grow. You're trying to level up. But what do you truly do? We can shift our perspective. We can see things differently. We can practice I am statements. But what is the one thing that if you did, your life would change? Shifting your mindset is the thing, but what truly is that? Mind set. What is your mind set on? Your mind is set on a frequency. What that frequency is will dictate how you perceive and receive the world. If you want to change or create a setting to put it on, you just have to say it in your mind and hold everything as if it has to go through and align with that thing. We're going to pick money because it's so visible. It's so easy to desire. It's something that majority of people would like more of, and it would be beneficial to have. So if you took the statement, I am a millionaire. If you take that statement, I am a millionaire, or you said something like, I make millions of dollars a year, whatever it is, if you take that I am statement, and then everything that you had to do today, if you ran it through that filter, how it felt to you would dictate if you should do it or not to get that result. So if you say, I make $1 million a year, challenge everything that you do when you go to work. What tasks do you do at work that align to that? Outside of work, what tasks do you do that align with that? If you're not already that, it's probably none. So the hard part is giving up the thing. It's hard to give up the job. What if you have a good job? What if you make a good amount of money? What if you make $100,000 a year? How do you give that up and then make $1 million a year? You have to start by letting go. You have to start by letting go and then forcing everything into that pattern. So if you say, I make $1 million a year, and your job has no way of delivering that, you have to let it go. Now, I know you have a life. You've got a family to feed. You've got bills to pay. You've got all these things. Those are reasons why you're not in alignment. I'm not saying that this is fair. I'm not saying that this is easy. And I'm not saying that this is something that you can even do. Most people are not millionaires because most people will have all the reasons as why they can't do the thing. But what you do is you start to look up millionaires. Maybe ask around. Search the internet, Google, who makes $1 million a year? And then start finding people, start reading books, start doing research on people that make $1 million a year. What does their day look like? And you might say, well, they own a company. I don't own a company, so how do I get there? Well, then you probably have to start the company. Or they might be in sales and they sell a certain product. You're like, well, I don't know anything about selling software as a service, so I can't do that. You will defeat yourself when you can't just let go of the things that don't equal the frequency that you're putting in your mind. But when you start doing the things that are in alignment with it, the universe will shift to that. The same as with joy, with love, whatever it is. This is the Positive Mindset Podcast. You might just want to feel good about things. You want to say, I am the happiest person alive. I'm the most forgiving person alive. I am the most joyous person alive. Whatever it is, if you say that, then you have to make sure your actions are in alignment with that. You can't say that I'm the most loving, forgiving person, and then on your way to work, cuss out every single person that cuts you off or makes you late. You're acting out of alignment, and so it's going to create an experience for you not in alignment with that thought. But if you say, I am love, I am forgiving, I am joy, and you have those through your mind, when something happens, you filter it through that. The person cuts you off, almost caused an accident. Give them that love. Give them that joy. Give them forgiveness. Your spouse is hurting you. They're being mean, or they're not working with you and how you want to work. They're causing you problems. You can still give them those things. Now, that doesn't mean you have to stay in the situation. If you're at work and your boss is terrible and treats you poorly and it's a toxic environment, it doesn't mean you have to stay. But you cannot give them something different than you're trying to be. If you have anger within you, even if it's something deserved to receive anger, then you are anger. Those frequencies that we put in our mind, when we set ourselves to that tune, we will have that experience if we only allow things to go through that fit. It's that simple. It's not easy. It's not fun. It's not without pain. It's not without heartache, but it is that simple. Just majority of us aren't willing to pay the cost. That's why they say your new life will cost you your old one. If your new life is a different frequency, your old frequency cannot come with it. But we're so loyal to some of the things in our old frequency, even though they don't serve us. We might like them. We might love them. We might enjoy them. They might make us feel good. They might make us feel comfortable. But if they are not in alignment with the new frequency, you cannot have or experience a new frequency if you keep them around. Here's an easy example if we keep it to the money. Think about the athletes, the people that come from college and then they make all this money. Why do you think most athletes go broke when they make so much money? Why do you think most lottery winners go broke when they make so much money? They have so much money. How could they go broke? Because their money thoughts and their money patterns and their money people, acquaintances, are not in alignment with those millions of dollars. So the money that they have eventually has to filter through that old frequency. So they have to perceive and receive on that old frequency, and it leaves them. That's what they say. A fool and their money is parted quickly, because they're not in alignment. That's why it's so important to learn how to control your money, control your energy, control your frequency before it's big. It's harder to manage $1 million a year than it is to manage $50,000 a year, $30,000 a year. And I know if you're making the $30,000 a year, you're thinking, oh, if I made $100,000 a year, I'd have so much money saved. I'd do so much better. You wouldn't if you're not managing it now. The frequency at which you're operating now does not improve because your external situation improves. You will just magnify the things within you. So if you can't save money at $30,000, you're definitely not going to save it at $100,000, and you're definitely not going to save it at $1 million. You're actually going to dig yourself deeper because those are multipliers. The same is with any kind of energy. If you cannot control your frequency now, if you cannot control your energy now, even if the thing that you desire, even if it's the person, place, or thing that you believe will make it better, when it happens, you will create the same experience because it's you. You didn't change. The world is always a reflection of our internal state. That's why there's people that have less than you and are happier than you. That's why there's people that have more than you and they're more miserable than you. It's because their internal state dictates the experience. So if you want to become a millionaire, if you want to become the most joyous person, if you want to become happy, free, expansive, whatever it is, you have to start thinking and acting in alignment with that now. Because it's not to have the external things. Those will never fulfill you. It's the person that can maintain it that you should desire to be. So we're going to take a deep breath. And when you breathe in, pick one word. Be love, joy, happiness, abundance. Just say it over and over again. Abundance, abundance, abundance. Joy, joy, joy. As you're breathing in As you hold your breath, visualize yourself doing something in that frequency. So if it's abundance, see yourself putting abundance of money into your bank account. If it's joy, see yourself operating in joy. If it's forgiveness, see yourself forgiving the things that are hurtful to you. If it's expansive, see yourself doing it as you hold your breath. And then once you exhale, allow anything that doesn't resonate with that to leave you so you can move forward in that energy. So pick your word. And let's go ahead and take a deep breath in. And out. We desire so much. I desire things. I want things to change. I want to see a new experience. We want these things, but it's so hard to let go of what's our current experience. You're not right or wrong for doing it, but you are choosing it. The choice isn't fair. The shift isn't equal. You cannot compare one person's pursuit to something in yours because it may not be the same. Theirs might be easier. Yours might be harder. But if you decide, well, theirs is easier, so I'm upset, so I'm not going to do it, that's your choice. But you are here to do something. And if you're in a hard spot, if you're in a struggle, if you're in pain, then maybe you are meant to become the light in that darkness. That's a powerful, powerful quest. But maybe that's why you're here. So let's rise up and become the rising tide that lifts all ships.
The new McCrispy Strip is here. Dip approved by ketchup, tangy barbecue, honey mustard, Sprite, McFlurry, Big Mac sauce, double dipped in buffalo and ranch, more ranch, and creamy chili McCrispy Strip Dip. Now at McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Well, thank you so much for listening. I hope you had an amazing experience with the episode. I hope it resonated with you. I hope you enjoyed this message. And if you want to make sure you don't miss a single one, make sure you subscribe to my email list. There's a link down below. It'll keep you up to date with every single episode. And if you want to follow me on social media, there's my Instagram and TikTok down below. I appreciate all the follows there. I do have some coaching spots open. I opened up 5. I have a meeting with people that I reached out from the last episode over the next week. But if you're interested and you would like to schedule that introduction session with me, you can message me at henry@vibeabundant.com. That's henry@vibeabundant.com. The link is also down below, so you can do that. You can also message me on Instagram. If I haven't got back to you, it's probably because I just missed your message, but I am following up with those, and that you've probably been responded to by the time this came up. But there are 5 spots. This is for somebody that wants to make a shift and apply it and see it physically happen. If you're a business owner, if you're in sales, if you're, someone that wants to use it for your business, this is really easy to see because we're going to apply it to, so you can actually see the financial change. But that doesn't mean that has to be what you're wanting to do. It can be any aspect of your life. This is a great 12-week program. Typically, some people do go longer. That's up to them. But reach out to me. I'm happy to have the conversation. And most importantly, I love just hearing people that listen to the show. You can also just leave a comment below letting me know that this episode had an impact. That means the absolute world to me. Well, thank you so much for listening. Have a great day, and I can't wait to talk to you next time.